Good morning, folks. We're out here at Lake Kinkaid and I'm driving the wife's vehicle because I had a little altercation a couple days ago. I was mowing the yard and I think I shot an acorn through the window of my truck. So my tow vehicle is out of commission. So luckily my wife was nice enough to let me borrow Subi, this Subaru, makes sense, right? And I'm able to get out on the water on my day off. So it actually towed my boat just fine. So it's almost 9:30, getting a little bit of a late start. We got some serious wind coming today. It's just starting to pick up. I hope the audio is okay, but it's gonna blow today. Gonna be gust up around 30, so I'm gonna have to be careful out there in my little boat, but I'm going punching. I'm gonna try to stay in the grass today. I brought a lot of rods today, but I hope that I'll be using a frog rod and a punching rod. That's the plan. We're gonna jump around, just try some main lake grass, see if we can get some bites. It's about 55 degrees today, bluebird skies, full sun today, but a lot of wind. Water temps are probably gonna be in the 60s. I'll give you an update on that. So I'm gonna get this boat in the water before it gets too windy and I can't fish at all. So I'll see you out there. All right, guys, we made it to the first spot. I'm excited. It feels great out here. Water temps are 67 degrees. And it's about 9:30 in the morning. So we're just gonna bounce around. It's getting windy out here. Wind's already blowing probably 10, and you can just feel that it's starting to pick up. So I got this little boat. I'm gonna have to, I'm probably gonna be doing a lot of fishing inside these little coves and cuts, just kind of poking in. I want to be out in the wind a little bit, but I don't know that I'll be able to hold myself out there in the main lake area once the wind gets up. So let's get after it. I'm excited. Punching fish, just fishing that submerged grass, just kind of feeling the lake out here, trying to figure out what's going on. Everything looks good right now, so you know the fish are only in certain areas of this grass, so just kind of feeling around out here on the main lake point. Wind's blowing pretty hard, and I'm just gonna keep on chucking, keep on pitching, keep on flipping, keep on punching. Okay, that was definitely a bite, and I was holding it at the bottom of that mat, so maybe that's telling me something. That might have been a bluegill, but I was just kind of holding it there and someone was tapping on it. There we go. There's a fish. Gotta keep covering water. Just switch to a beaver. It's pretty slow out here, actually. I'm trying to stay out of this wind. It's getting really, really bad out here. There's a fish on there. There he is. Yeah. Had him caught on the backside of that little beaver pile. There you go. Caught me one punching out of the beaver pile. No grass, just he actually got me hung up on the backside of it. Gotta poke around, man. Gotta poke around. They're not biting really good for me. It's just making a bunch of pitches. You get lucky every once in a while. Just looking for these mats that are got a little bit of wind on them and they're kind of topped out. So like this right here. You know, just kind of a little subtle point, secondary point. Wind's blowing in on it. It's nice and topped out. There you go. Another little fish. They all count, right? Just on that little beaver. There we go. That's a better fish. Nice solid fish. It's trying to figure out a pattern out here, but it's just about putting your head down and just keep punching and following the shoreline. It seems like they're about a third of the way back in the coast is where I've been getting most of my bites. All right, folks, I'll kind of show you what I'm looking for out here. And, you know, this is just me. I'm not saying this is right, but it seems to be working so far. So most of the fish that I'm catching have been main lake oriented, so around these points. And then I'm just coming back a little bit. I caught that one really nice fish about just a quarter of the way back in this little cut. So I'm concentrating on this deeper grass out here on the main lake. I'll show you another spot where I caught some fish at. Came in right here. And I'm kind of looking for deeper water. You can see how these contour lines are closer together really, and it's flatter on this opposite side. So you got these contour lines that are closer together, and that's kind of what I was looking on. I got several bites right through here, but as I got back in the back of these, I wasn't getting bit. So now I'm just kind of going around and I'm concentrating on the main lake grass and then just a little bit inside these little pockets and cuts. It seems to be working so far. Ah, missed him. Tried to swing that fish like an idiot. That was a good fish. About 3 pounders. Hey, that, boys and girls, that is a nice little punching fish. Man, this wind is brutal out here. That's a nice one. I like that. Good solid fish. That's a nice fish.
not biting it hard, it's just, they're just barely picking it up on it. You know, the sun has got up, and boy, it's really made these fish active in the grass. Low light conditions, it's a little bit tougher to catch them punching. It's typically a frog deal, but once that sun gets up, bluebird skies, they start to come up and feed. And they're just in small areas. You know, I've had 3 or 4 bites and caught a couple fish just in this one small area. So it's really about bouncing around and trying different sections of grass. And if you get bit, chances are you're going to get another bite. I'll talk to you a little bit about what I'm doing here in a second. All right, folks, I found a place that is out of the wind enough to have decent audio, I hope. It's really hard to find. The wind kind of swirls around in these steeper bank lakes like we have over here in southern Illinois. But I just want to talk to you a little bit about what I've been doing today. And I've just been punching grass. This fall time, we're in the middle of October. And as the water temperature starts to cool down, the bait will start to get in the grass. Now, it's not going full-blown yet. The water temp's 67. When it gets down there around 60, I'd say like 53 to 63, that's prime water temperature for doing this punch and stuff. It pulls the bait in the grass. They're trying to warm up. If you got those mats that are sitting out in the sun, it's a lot warmer. And vegetation grabs heat, holds it, and the bait will start moving into that grass there for, you know, for a month or so. And the bass will follow, and it can get really, really good. So you just got to kind of play with it. So let me talk about, there's basically 2 kinds of baits that you'll want for punching. The first one, and this is the one that's been working for me today, is just a beaver style bait. You know, 2 colors. You want something that's green pumpkinish, and then you'll want something that's a June bug, something that's a darker color. It's really that simple. And the other kind of bait that you want is some kind of a crawl bait. Right here we've got the Magnum speed crawl. Same thing. June bug, darker colors, June bug black, sapphire blue, something like that, and then something that's in the green pumpkin hue, more bluegill color. But those are the 2 different actions. So with the beaver, it's a lot more subtle. It seems like when they're not as aggressive, you're going to get more bites on that beaver style bait. And when it's really going, you can throw something like a crawl that's got a lot of flapping action, and you can generate a lot of bites. As far as weight, right now 1 ounce weights get you through the grass. As the water continues to fall, this grass is going to mat over more. It's going to get thicker. You're going to have to move up to 1.25 ounces probably, and maybe 1.5 ounces. But right now, 1 ounce is what I've been flipping, and I've been getting through the grass just fine. I like to go as light as I can for a couple reasons. I typically like a little bit slower fall, and probably the main reason is that 1 ounce weight's a lot easier on your shoulder than 1.5 ounces. 1.5 ounces it's only 1/2 ounce heavier, but man, it really wears on you after a while. So if I can get by with 1 ounce, I'm definitely going to do that. And you know, earlier in the fall, late summer and stuff, I'll even flip a 3/4 ounce too if I can get away with that. But 1/2 ounce will get you by. As far as equipment, I did some other punching videos, so I'll leave a link to those right here. You can go back and check those out where I get a little bit more detailed about my gear. But I'm using this 7'11" Lew's custom light rod, and it's the LCL MCR. It's really a big crankbait rod or Carolina rig rod, but it works great for punching. It's got a nice soft tip. You want a little bit of tip. You know, you kind of want a little bit of a parabolic at the very top of it, but you definitely want some meat to get those fish out of the grass. 50-pound Power Pro braid. You know, whatever braid you like, but I like 50 pounds. Some guys like 65. I think 50 handles a little bit better. It's a little bit easier, and I haven't had a problem with that. And what I do is, I mentioned the 1 ounce weight, you're gonna have to have tungsten. Tungsten's expensive, but think about it as buying a nice crankbait. You're not gonna lose this weight. You know, I've had this weight for several years. You just don't lose them. You just don't lose these heavy weights. You're flipping around grass. It's not like you're flipping wood and stuff, and you're going to have a tendency to get hung up and lose this stuff. So you know, Jig Shack, I bought some Jig Shack tungsten. It's pretty good. You can get that from Honey Hole Creek. If you get online, he's got some to sell, or you can just go straight to the Jig Shack or whatever tungsten. Doesn't matter. That's just some of the tungsten I've been throwing lately. And then 2 bobber stops. So you're gonna have your 2 bobber stops on there, your 1 ounce weight, and then I like a 4-aught flipping hook. And I like this plastic keeper right there. I don't like the nylon keepers, and I don't like that steel pin. Anything that's got shrink wrap, it seems to come undone after a while. So this hard plastic keeper is what you want. But a 4-aught straight shank hook will get you by on just about any bait. If you're going more finessey, like say you're throwing a little speed crawl or a baby brush hog, I'll drop down to 3. And if I'm throwing something real big, like maybe a D-bomb or something, I might move up to a 5-aught. But typically a 4-aught is going to get you by with just about any bait. And it's real simple. Today I've been keying on main lake grass, and you got to cover a lot of water until you kind of start figuring out which areas you're getting bites from. If you get a bite in an area, slow down and spend some time picking it apart, because 9 times out of 10 there'll be multiple fish in that mat. You know, there'll be a little school in that mat, and you may go an hour or 2 hours without getting a bite, and then all of a sudden you'll get a bite, and then you'll get another bite, and you'll get another bite. And try to pay attention to where you're at in the cove, or if you're main lake, where you're at main lake, what kind of water depth is around you. Today it's been they're wanting some deep water nearby, you know, within a boat, you know, 10-20 foot off the grass line. It needs to be like 15, 16, 17 foot today. And as the season progresses, the fish will move back shallower when they're getting that shallower grass. And I'm not saying there's not any in that shallower grass, there probably is, but that's just kind of what's been working for me today. And so what I've been doing is kind of pulling up my chart and just looking for spots where I can see some tighter contour lines right at the main lake points, and then just kind of going back in little cuts and coves and stuff. And that's kind of what I've been focusing on. So this bite only gets better. If you guys are wanting to get into punching, just keep it simple. Go buy the stuff that I just talked about and spend some time. Put it in your hand. Give yourself 4 hours or so, and don't get, you know, discouraged and pick anything else up. Just keep covering water. Keep covering water. Keep practicing. And another thing, if you can learn to pitch left-handed, that's real important. It's not that hard to do. Especially with a 1 ounce weight. It's a little bit trickier if you're throwing your lighter weights like 1/4 ounce or 3/8. It takes a little more time to develop that. But with a 1 ounce weight, it's nice and heavy. It flips out there really good. But that left-handed flip is really, really critical for covering water. You're keeping the rod in your same hand the whole time. You're making that pitch. You're engaging the reel, and you're in there. And it's just boom, boom, boom. 7-to-1 gear ratio reel is what I recommend. But do yourself a favor and just spend a day or two trying to learn how to flip left-handed. It'll save you time. You can cover water a lot faster. And another thing I forgot to mention, these fish are biting real soft today. They're just holding it. They're not thumping it, and that's a lot of times that's what happens when you're punching mats. You don't get it like a hard jig bite or a thump like you would a plastic worm or something. It's kind of like fishing a plastic worm or a jig in the dog days of summer, where it's just a little, you just feel something different. A lot of times it'll just get heavy. Sometimes you can check it and they'll pull back just a little bit, and you got to jack them right then. But it's going to take a while. I've missed several bites because I was sleeping. So it takes a while to get used to that bite. So don't get discouraged. Go out there and give this punching a try. Right now it's happening all the way through mid-November, late November, until that water temperature gets about 53, 52, 53. It's still going on. So it's an exciting time of the year. It's one of my favorite ways to catch these bass. So hope all that stuff helps you out a little bit. Like I said, get out there and give it a try. That soft bite, man. It's a good fish. Man, there's just no bite there at all. Get in here. God, it's another solid fish. Look at that, guys. This is so much fun. Oh, this is my favorite way to fish. Beautiful fish out here today. That just got heavy. It just got heavy. It was just a little bit different. That's all you're getting out of these fish today. It's not a hard bite at all. It's just it just feels different. I can't explain it. It's something that as you do punching, as you punch more and more, you'll kind of get a feel for what that bite feels like. But that's how it's going today. They're just kind of holding on to it, and they'll drop it too, so you got to be on your toes. Nice quality fish, man. Nice quality fish. They're just stopping it. That's all they're getting. That's all you're getting out of them. Good fish. Oh yeah, baby. Look at that, guys. What? Where did that come from? Holy crap. That's a little slaunch grass donkey. Nice. Wow. I mean, just the subtlest bite. Just the subtlest bite. I'm trying to kind of starting to figure out where these fish are at. It's definitely point related and riprap related, but that, my friends, is a beautiful fish. Woo! Loving this lake, man. Fall. Can't say enough about fall. I love me some fall fishing, man. My hands are cramping up from holding that rod. God, that's a nice fish. Look at what we got here, folks. Boom! Nice, solid quality fish. Let's let this baby go. See you, darling. Thanks for playing. That, my friends, is what fall's about. Grass mats, punching for nice quality bass. Having a fun day out here despite the wind. Whew, that felt good, man. That felt really good. Good one, guys. It's a real good one. That's a real good one. Oh yeah. Look at that, folks. Boom. That's a tank. That, my friends, is a tank. Oh yeah. That feels good. Look at that, folks. Boom! Beaver head, beaver mouth. Got your booty. That was a heck of a bite. They're biting real soft out here. It's just you're pitching it in there and it's just kind of heavy. They're not really moving with it, but look at that fish. That's a beautiful fish, man. That's what we came for right there. Loving that. Hey guys, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do. Make sure you share it on social media. That really helps the channel grow. I'm getting close to 2,000 subs. That was my goal for the year, and so I really appreciate all the help. Hit the little bell notification. That way, anytime I'm dropping content, you'll be the first to know. And man, Kinkaid was fishing pretty decent. Once about midday, that's when the bite kind of started to turn on, and I just kept my head down and I just stayed in the grass. I really didn't fish out deep at all, just poking around the grass. So beautiful fish. Thanks for coming along. Until next time. Hey, we're doing a live stream on Mondays at 7:30 Central. We got all kinds of special guests, so if you're free on a Monday evening, 7:30 Central, stop by and check us out. Leave questions and comments. Until next time.